Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Benefactor at Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Kate, Felicia, and Corinne with their adventures in Illyria. Don't forget that you can help or indeed hinder. Check out the options in the chat bar below. You can join our wonderful community by joining the Discord. You'll find that link in the channel notes, and you can support us in what we do by becoming a subscriber. So let's get back into the action as we play episode 143 of the Benefactor. And we're back. Hello to our viewers and hello to our players.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah.
A long weekend in Britain for the 70th it's the 70th Jubilee, which is the Platinum Jubilee for the Queen. So it's a good time to have a 4-day weekend. The sun is shining. There's lots of stuff going on. And yeah, for once, Britain's actually a really nice place to be. So I don't know if that's just the holiday talking or what, but yeah, it's absolutely beautiful around here at the moment. And I know Felicia obviously isn't getting the benefits of this, but and I know what Corinne's been doing, so I'm going to ignore those two and say, Kate, what have you been doing?
Not seeing the sun or the grass as much as I probably should, considering it's apparently really nice out there.
Yeah, it's amazing out there at the moment.
Yes, I mean, much of the muchness, I guess. I've been continuing to both roleplay and play around. Today I was I did a bit of both. I did some roleplay earlier today, and but
what roleplay were you doing?
I was doing the usual Red Dead stuff. And then
really, I don't, when you say roleplay, I don't immediately attach the two, but even though it is almost solidly roleplay, isn't it?
Yeah, so, I mean that is basically what it is. It's just a different kind of. There's no DM. We just DM ourselves. And then I've just been playing around in my own server, playing around with the code, where I managed to break some stuff, but then mend it again, which is an achievement in itself. Yes, got a few things sorted. But I'm mostly sort of just going through going, what are all these? Because they supplied me basically with a big suitcase essentially full of stuff. And I'm going through now going, hold on, these two things are basically doing the same thing. Which one? Put that one aside and see what this one does. And, things like that at the moment to sort of just see how things work. But I have ideas and plans to try to take something they've already done and tweak it into something fun. So we'll see. We'll see if it works.
Nice.
So I've been playing around in bits and pieces of that.
I remember when we first started playing 7 Days to Die, Tom and I were thinking about doing some RP, and we still haven't completely canned that idea. It's just, it's not floated to the top, and we're doing so much at the moment that we just don't have time for it.
Yeah.
But at some point, it would be cool to have kind of a 7 Days Survivor kind of thing, because Post Apoc is one of my favorite RPs, but there's not many games that RP it properly. To the point where I ended up making my own.
I think Daisy have some servers. I don't know about other sort of survival-y ones, but I know Daisy definitely.
I've been in an RP server before with 7 Days. This is a long time ago when it was new. It was very much Wild West town, but in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so you had your hunters and all the rest of it, and that was really cool. But yes, we've been doing a lot of stuff in the community at the moment. So we have the 7 Days to Die crew. I managed to get Tom to cave and finally download Deep Rock Galactic. 2 more, and I get my crew. So that was good fun.
I have it, and I've played it once or something with our improv group played it, and then I maybe played it with you guys as well. So I played it a couple of times. Yeah, I just haven't.
We've downloaded the Darkness Falls mod, which is redunculous. I mean, the crafting is expanded. It's so much harder, and eventually you don't just get you don't just get zombies, but devils and demons coming out. So there is a succubus apparently that flies stupid fast and throws fire at you and all the rest of it. And I was just there like, okay, I'm down for this. Oh my god, we're all going to die. So we've currently got the crew who are putting together bases and stuff like that to try and survive. But so far, every time they've done it, they've just been completely washed. Everything's been trashed. They've lost all their gear and everything, and they've just had to restart again. I like that level of hardness, though. Other things, a few of us chaotics and some of the people who are connected to the guild, who are most of which are kind of either watch or friends of us anyway, are going to be doing some LARPing next weekend. So there is no Benefactor next weekend because I'm going to be in a field with nerds and lots of rubber swords. So
okie dokie.
Foam swords.
Yep. So we don't play combat characters because I still have to get my head around the form foam sword wacky thing.
I've been whacked by those foam swords. They are no joke. They hurt.
Also, first one I went to, my knees were shot. My knees are starting to get better. I still need maybe an operation on the left-hand one. So at the moment, I'm a sitting duck. Unless I'm like full of armor and the one that everyone is to fear, and with the number of hit points I've got, number of XP, that I've got, not going to happen. So instead, I'm in the nice peaceful town and all the rest of it, and creating
heal
things
people when they come back. Like, oh dear, did you get a boo-boo? Yeah. Okay, let's heal them.
Well, and I make the weapons to give to the young fit people who run across fields hitting people with rubber swords. So
there we go.
There we go. So that's good fun. And part of that, and I've put it onto the Discord as well, is that I've been 3D printing like a maniac to make props. And absolutely loving this. So I'm making jewelry and
which LARP, if you all right publicizing it, which one?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Empire LARP made by
the Empire one again.
And so Mark Humes has got a is it a Twitch channel that he's got? Or I'm pretty sure he's got
various things. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's got a personal Twitch channel where he talks Empire. I haven't seen him at the event, but I'm told he's a winter mark. And so the Vikings.
I mean, there are 2,000 people or something, right? So
yeah, I mean, there's 2,000 people in our nation alone. There's about 400 odd people. So yeah, and so the woods are crawling with us Navarre. The Navarre, by the way, are wood elves, but not wood elves. Cross between the wood elves and the Welsh. So
and a bit Dalish throw in as well. With, like the face tattoos and everything.
Yeah, all of that.
I totally did not steal a Vaseline design for my face tattoos. No, you can't prove anything.
You can't prove a thing. So yes, Felicia actually made the striding symbol that we've got, which I've put on pendants for all of our people. So that's going to be good fun. And I haven't been in a LARP in a very long time. This is my first rubber sword LARP. But prior to that,
was the one you did before not a rubber sword one? Then I thought that was Empire.
The last two that I did Oxford by Night, which was a Vampire the Masquerade.
That was like years ago, though.
And that was very much court, where if anybody lost their shit, they ended up being put down very quickly. So there was no fighting.
What was the one you did recently, though?
That was Empire.
That was
Empire. It was Empire. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so we didn't go and took part of battle.
I get you, right?
We just ran around doing different things.
Yeah. So there's one in June, there's one in July, then one in September.
Oh,
then they kind of hibernate for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So they cram, even though it's supposed to be the spring, summer, autumn, and winter events in canon, they put them all flanking summer, so you don't have to go and do it in winter.
In the middle, the cold.
Camping in winter, not fun.
No.
I mean, it's doable, but probably like not the most fun to spend entire day.
No, you sort of do it later in the summer when it can get colder, but not like winter.
Yeah, they do a lot of side events as well. The people who, the players actually host their own side events, so you can go and do other ones as well. But the four main ones, the canonical ones, are then. And as I've said to you before, Kate, I think that's the type of thing you'd love.
Yeah.
Because it's totally immersive, completely immersive. So yeah. Anyway,
cool.
So yes, that's all the stuff we've been looking into and playing with all the others. We've, as I had some Deep Rock Galactic. We've still got our own ongoing off-screen Monday game, which is nice. That's hotting up. They're just getting to the point now where they're going underground. It's a nice classic dungeon, and they met a few of my old favorites recently. So they met a flail snail.
Yes,
which I was so pleased to put flail snail in. They met myconids. And on the end of the last episode, Felicia is a warlock because they are the best. Fight me. And she sent her spy drone, aka Familiar, into the room ahead of them and managed to find the carrion crawler I put on the roof. So carrion crawlers back in 3rd edition and before were responsible for the most TPKs that I was aware of at the time. That one, that's a nasty ass creature because it just completely paralyzes you. And I have seen entire parties get paralyzed and just have to sit there watching their characters being.
Is it because specifically because they have a paralyzed effect?
They have tentacles with a paralyzed effect. They're not technically that aggressive because they're so busted, but if you happen upon them, they will defend themselves. And this one is actually starving, so it's currently got kind of red mist going on.
For a minute. Poison for a minute until the poison ends. The target is paralyzed. Oh my fucking god!
No saves.
No
10
saves.
rounds of paralysis.
10 rounds paralyzed.
Yep.
Oh no, wait! The target can repeat the saving and end the pizza. So
oh, is it? Okay, that's not bad. It didn't used to. Didn't used to have that. Yeah. That was one of the few times where if the rest of your party ran away, it was understandable. Just get the Goliath to pick you up.
It doesn't do the most damage, but like if it paralyzes you and it has other friends.
Yep. Thankfully, the carrion crawler is the only thing in that room.
Good.
Honest.
Honest.
Anyway, so yeah, having fun with that as well. And I'm really glad to see that our week is completely padded out with things now. We've got Numenera ongoing. We've got Paladman on Tuesdays. We've got Mage on Thursdays, this on Fridays. And then, we do have other days of the week where we can actually, do other things other than role-playing or watching role-play. So
I
that's
mean, you say that, but we're currently quite packed.
We're quite packed. We're quite packed. But it's better than being bored. Much, much better than being bored. Anyway, when we left off last session, you guys were in Naruka. Oh, I should point out, Nick isn't here. He's sick. Apparently caught a bug off a very, very, very cute young family member. And, we've all been there. Just give me a hug. So, we'll soon do.
Hug me. And you're like, okay.
Anyway, last session, you were in Naruka. You're still in Naruka now. And when we timed out, you went onto the stage where a lot of enraptured tabaxi were looking at you, specifically Eclipse, regarding the fact that you had found them a way to meet Juradan the Great. You had managed to win over the council, and the council were very happy to consider your offer. In the typical cat democracy, they gave it overnight. And if they were still interested in the morning, they would turn up at the agreed location. And the number of people who turned up is a vote in your favor. So technically, you could have been standing in a room on your own.
But oh well, I guess nobody wanted to vote yes.
The room was packed. Not even the original council members, but a whole host of interested people ready to pledge themselves to the cause. Now, I've said we're not going to go into huge field tactician tactics and things like that. You can now consider that Naruka is mobilizing a force for you. Okay. The next time you will hear about this and anything else you do as preparation is when I talk about the Golden City. I'll give you a map of the Golden City, and I will ask you, what are you doing? What is it that you are that you want to do? So if you end up pledging a certain amount of the forces to preserve parts of the city, you can do that. If you want them to spearhead an attack and gain ground, you can do that. And it's not going to be too mechanistic, but I just want a general idea of what kind of approach you want for the forces going into the city. If they're just going to be punching you a tunnel straight to Juradan, you can do that. Okay. As always, decisions have consequences. I'm going to fast forward past what is a couple of hours of questions, and that's mostly your answers to those questions are going to be you going over the previous story of Juradan. How did you get there? Where did you find everything? What did you have to fight? Is that really Lilith? Is that really Sun? And yes, it is, and it's endless amounts of cats. Cats are basically cats that can talk. They ask questions like a bunch of toddlers on E numbers. What, really, and you have about 2 hours of that.
Yes.
Eventually, different people turning around and saying, I'm going to go and make armor. Who wants armor? And people are there kind of charging off, and it's like, I'm going to make blades. I make the best blades. Who's coming with me? And it's kind of an organized mob as the Tabaxi all go out and start arming themselves to the teeth. There are others who they're part of organizations, very clearly part of organizations. And you see when Flame leaves, you remember him before. He was the kind of proud, wide-faced, jaguar looking guy who at first gave you a little bit of shit, but then afterwards seemed to place his money down, and his money was on your side, which is why he announced you at the end of last session, to show his own commitment and to show, everybody's supposed to be voting my way. When he leaves, he just goes, with me. And about 50 odd people in the room stand up and follow behind him in the trail. This guy is influential in the city, super influential, probably the most influential single person in the city. You notice that Willow, that's the cheetah monk character. When she leaves, there's a bunch of people who get up and follow her, but she doesn't have to say anything. They just follow her. And you notice they're all dressed roughly the same way. The men tend to just be clothed from the waist down. Most of the women just have kind of either kind of cropped kind of tops that have like short sleeve arms, or are dressed exactly the same way as she is, with just like a breastband and maybe a bit of jewelry. You have a feeling that these are all kind of like monks and parkour runners of the city, which in any other city would probably be a minority. In Naruka, it's like almost a religion in its own right. Yeah, the cats that run along rooftops and jump from rooftop to rooftop. You've seen them as you walked around the city, just like, cats be cat, no problem. And when she walks out, she's got a good 20 or 30 people that just choose to follow her without any prompting. The rest of it peter out, and you notice that all that's left at the end is a few stragglers waiting to see if there's anything else, kind of eager for more excitement. And Scepter turns around to Eclipse and says, I believe you have an appointment.
Yes.
Well, I have all of my divinely given energy about me, so I may as well start off by healing you after this.
Well, Farwell's coming with us. He's gonna be here as an NPC and heal me if something goes wrong.
Okay. She goes, last time I heard Sashul was dwelling down in the Khantum section. Come with me. She starts walking down, and to remind you, the temple, even though it has a small kind of spire thing on the top, is actually a large borehole going down into the ground. And at that borehole, spiraled, almost like the rifling of a barrel, lots of large staircases punctuated by kind of semicircular landings that show different locations that you can go to. There are some people that you can see that are more powerful. They have like the flight spell or something like that, who just jump into the middle and allow gravity to get them to their place quicker. You see people shoot past you, some of them gesturing and then slow fall kicking in as they just glide into the place where they need to. Movement and dynamism is very much part of Narukan life. But Scepter wants to walk, and with the brisk pace, she does. For some people, walking down the steps this fast is a little uncomfortable. I should imagine for Cora with her little legs, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. But keeping pace, Scepter is there saying, you must know this knife is incredibly cantankerous. Some people believe that Sashul carries the soul of a criminal or a great warrior. We have done much research when he stands still long enough, and we can tell you that there is no soul within that weapon. It is an arcane intelligence.
We're no stranger to arcane intelligences. I have a book that talks, or not talks, but it writes. It's a personality in the book. It's from Jordan's time.
Yes, but that is, yes, you told me about that. I believe that that is simply a simulation. It is as complex and can make decisions, much like Sashul. But Sashul is, I guess, like a golem or a summoned elemental. I guess in its nature, it's not an elemental. Do not call it elemental. The problem with Sashul, and she stops and turns with you and goes, Sashul was created to kill. His creator was an assassin, a very good assassin. He was with that assassin until the assassin died of old age. When the assassin was quite clearly dying, Sashul cut his suffering short and killed him. He then killed the next 4 people to go into that assassin's home. It was only when one person came in and was able to impress him in some way that Sashul agreed to be carried out and sold. He was sold to a bunch of adventurers. Did some adventuring for some time, but always it ended the same way. If Sashul was bored, or if Sashul thought the person wielding him was no longer worthy, he would tell him or her with a cut and then simply launch himself away from the party. I can tell you he has got one weakness. It's not much of a weakness. Sashul cannot fly indefinitely. Sashul can only attack what he can see, and he can only move when he attacks. So, for example, if he wanted to go down the street, he would have to attack people or things down that street. Now, he can't just attack the floor or the wall or something like that. It has to be something that he can realistically damage. A vase, he can cut the heads off flowers. He can, anything where it's what he perceives to be damage. Just chipping a wall is not good enough for him. So that's how he travels. Attack.
Yep, I have experience with that. He chased me and stabbed me.
Yes. He has a range of somewhere in the region of 120 feet.
I want this knife. I'm a character. I want this knife.
Please be careful. Typically, one does not possess Sashul. He considers you a mount.
I don't intend to possess him as an object. I intend to recruit him as an ally?
Good luck.
Cooperator.
Good luck. Anyway.
Give Eclipse a talking weapon. Give Eclipse a talking weapon.
Okay. I pointed this out before. Sashul was the first ever magical item I ever wrote. He's a bastard. He's an absolute bastard. As I've said, he's a thrown weapon that can go 120 foot, because once you throw him and he sees his target in sight, he propels himself with kinetic force. Yeah? And he is, stronger than your average knife.
Yeah, is he a... Well, if I get him, you can tell me if he's a +1, +2, whatever. Or if he's any of those things. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, if I get him. He might not agree.
Yep. Anyway. And, oh, by the way, once you get him, you will only get a mild description of his abilities. He is not a magical item that you can attune to. Basically, there's some things that will happen in combat when you're fighting using Sashul that will just turn up when they turn up.
He's an ally.
Okay. So just forewarning. This is a personality weapon. Okay. Anyway.
Nori, do you think this is a good idea? Nori.
I mean, it is an interesting idea.
Oh, I will take that as a yes.
So you go down to the Khantoum exhibit, and you can hear a kind of with every hit, this object you can hear flying through the air. With every hit, you can hear a at which point Eclipse Scepter turns around and goes, "We have, of course, become proficient at the shield spell around our exhibits. He can still attack to get from A to B, even though he suspects that the shield spell will go up. Somewhat of a loophole, I believe. I believe he's trying to see if he can hit the shields long enough that whatever charge we've given to the enchantment fails and he can get through to the jackpot. He's probably not going to be in a very good mood."
Okay.
You can see in front of you is a large wooden door, like a really thick wooden door. 2 guards are in front of it, and there's a sign on the door saying "Exhibit closed, Sashul." You have a feeling that the regular visitors of this of these sections know what that means. Well, the guard turns around and says, "Priestess Scepter. Are these the and if you have a feeling he's choking back the word idiots, the people who want to speak to Sashul?" And she says, "Yes, they believe themselves capable." There's a silent exchange of looks between guard and priestess. Eyebrows are raised, and he goes, "Well, okay then. Right. This is how it's going to work. You're all going to line up. I open the door. You go in. And I close the door behind you.
Right.
If you're coming out, you come out one at a time. I look through the window. The window is magically reinforced. If you have Sashul sticking in you, I'm not letting you out."
If Sashul is in my hand, do you let me out?
You need to convince me you have it under control. If you have it in your hand and not sticking in you, I will consider that evidence enough.
Oh my, you can't go out with him sticking in your shoulder.
Are you ready?
Yes, just one moment.
Are you going in alone, or are we meant to be coming in to be cannon fodder as well? Knife fodder.
Oh, I'm staying out. This is an Eclipse thing.
I would appreciate to have some assistance. I stare farewell.
I must warn you that you cannot cast spells through these windows. I know you can see through them, and spells say that if you can see, you can cast. I will tell you now, even if you can see it, it will disrupt your targeting. So if you need to go in because you're going to be casting spells on Eclipse, you need to go in with her.
As confident I am, I would like to have at least one person who can help start farewell.
Fine, I'll come in. I mean, I'd love to force farewell, but he's not here, so it feels wrong to like force him into a situation that he can't dictate.
Eowyn goes and sits on one of the windowsills, and she goes, "This is a good seat. I think this is, yes, I think I'll enjoy this seat."
Does freedom of movement is only useful of rough terrain? Would it be useful here, do we think? Like, it doesn't sort of speed her up or anything.
It depends if Sashul can slow you or incapacitate you or immobilize you.
Yeah, I said hold off on it. I am essentially Well, I can't cast Hold Person on him. But you have Hold Monster, don't you?
I do have Hold Monster. Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weapon.
It still, I think, counts as a feature.
I could.
But does it though?
I mean, like, I would have thought that. I don't know. I have no idea, but I would have thought that, like, trying to fight this thing isn't necessarily the best idea, although it is a knife, so maybe it likes people who fight it. I really have no idea how to talk to a knife.
My first intention is not to fight it. I will try to talk to him first. I might have to prove myself by somehow, like, catching him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did catch him the other time, which I don't
You caught him with your body, didn't you, though?
No, I caught him.
Okay. Second time, maybe. I feel like he caught you first time. Or someone.
Anyway.
I can't remember. I feel like someone got injured, didn't they? Okay. Well, I'll go in and be ready. Let's say that.
Okay.
I seem to have spent a spell already. What was? Oh, that was Misty Step to get away from vomiting the other day.
You have.
We had a long rest.
So yeah, you got that back. Okay. He goes, okay, so you two are the lucky contenders. 1, 2, no.
Get the crystal.
So, yeah, you charge in, and you can see at the end of this exhibit, the exhibits have, this is an exhibit of Kantum pit fighter weapons, okay? And you have a feeling, based on you have a feeling that based on the attacks that it's doing, it doesn't seem to be going for any of the armor. It's going for the other weapons.
Okay, so he's gotten loose from his own exhibit, and it's just like loose in this exhibit. Okay.
Yep. He's somehow managed to find a way out, and he's now trying to attack the other weapons in other exhibits.
Is he looking for a fight? He probably is. He's probably extremely bored here. I will shout out, Sashu!
It clatters to the floor. Ting, 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 ting.
I am Eclipse of the Moon. I know you as Sashul. I assume this is no place for Sashul.
Lies there.
Hmm.
It lies there on the ground.
Lies there on the ground. I come to ask you to join us in a
It
battle.
throws itself at you. So here we go. So that is going to be
Dex saving throw to avoid.
21 to hit.
Yeah, that does hit. Can I try and catch him? I don't have any mark abilities, but
You did not prepare an action.
Ah! So that's the type of encounter it is.
No, I did not prepare an action.
And you know about prepared actions, whereas I taught Fish in the Monday game because he wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did have a very good lesson on prepared actions, courtesy of Dunklosaurus.
Take 19 points of slashing damage. And that's fine. So yeah, none of his other stuff triggers. Just whistles past your body, and you're like, huh, he missed. And then you look down at your arm and go, fuck! As blood's just welling down your arm. And it's you look back at it, and it's buried itself in the door frame, and the blade that hit you is the one sticking out. This is where Cora gets to see Sashul up close for the first time. As I say, Sashul is a double kukri. Yeah, the two kukri blades are very slightly offset, so it kind of has a stretched out Z kind of look to it. One of the blades is now stuck in the wall, and the other blade is dripping with tabaxi blood.
It's going well so far. I see.
Very nice of you, Sashul, to show off your abilities. I'm very impressed. I will
gonna attack
prepare an
again.
action. I will prepare an action to catch him if he
Okay.
tries to attack me.
Sure. That is a 25. You have to beat 25 with an athletics check.
Not sleight of hand or acrobatics?
Sleight of hand, I'll accept. I'll accept
Yeah.
sleight of hand. Please bear in mind, you are trying to catch something that has no handle.
Yeah.
Does it? Can you not catch? How do you hold it then?
There, in the middle of the crossed over blades, there is a tiny gem, like a little green gem
that you can kind of grab.
which some people have called it the eye of Sashul. It's not an eye; it's just a gem. Although it's a perfectly round gem in the middle, so Sashul was made around that almost perfectly orb gem, spherical gem.
After 2 log points, all I managed to get was a 21.
Yep. Okay, you tried to catch it. So it gets to roll a second d20. Okay. So let's go for that again. Oh, you get lucky. As you go to catch it, take 9 points of slashing damage, and you watch as he neatly takes the skin off the top of each of your fingers.
I will get my lash knife out, and I will use my. So I have the disarm thing. Can I essentially catch him, entangle him in the chain with...
Disarm basically knocks the weapon out of the hand of a wielder.
Or trip.
He doesn't have that. You can't trip him. He has no legs.
Yeah. But can I try and entangle him in the chain?
He is basically just a length of metal that long.
Mm-hmm.
You can't wrap. There's no features to wrap him round because he'll just go like that through any features. You might be able to catch him in a box, but not a chain.
Thinking of with the chain links, getting him with the knife edge.
You would have to get it so that one chain link went onto one side, and then you whip the chain round so it then gets onto the other side. This thing is that you don't have that level of control with this weapon. Also, you did get, I checked my notes, you did get last time that catching him pissed him off.
Mm.
Okay.
And I will remind you of the advice that Septa gave.
And that was...
Well, she told you that he can only fly so far, but that's not going to help you in an enclosed area. But she did say you would have to convince him.
Yeah. The place we're going to has lots of devils. They need slaying.
Ting, 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 ting. Immobile on the floor.
I take a step towards him. I would be very much honored if you were to join me in this battle. There will be a battle afterwards as well against the strongest enemy we've ever known. And again, I would be honored to stand at your side for that one.
Every time you say honored, the knife flips over like it's going to do something.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you an insight check or anything like that because it doesn't emote beyond that.
Yeah.
But read it that way you will. When you say honored, it twitches.
It would be... I'm really struggling with English words.
English is hard.
It would be a great slaughter. Immobile.
Immobile.
I take another step. With lots of bloodshed and lots of killing.
Immobile.
I take another step. I would hope this would be suitable for your bloodlust for a bit, at least.
It twitches at bloodlust, but it doesn't flip over like the word honor. It just twitches for a second. It like just rocks a little bit. But it's staying still at the moment.
And if you would allow me to bear you, I can promise great dexterity and skill. And I expect the same from you.
It shoots itself at you at that last part. Roll to dodge. Not roll to dodge. Give me a dexterity attack, because there's no such thing as a roll to, like, for example, understand somebody else's attacks. So I'm going to say use your attack to hit roll. Okay, just give me that.
28.
Okay, pretty damn epic. So what happens is Sashul launches itself vertically up to about head height. Starts to spin around so fast that the fucking blades are no longer visible. You know when a fan gets so fast, there's just a blur around it.
Yeah.
And then it flies towards you. As it flies towards you, you're kind of like, it's a buzzsaw. Am I really going to try and catch a buzzsaw? And it gets about maybe a meter away from you, and then goes from this blur to just upright and no longer moving, but still flying towards you. With a 28, you catch it. But after you catch it, it exerts a little bit of force, not much, a little, as if to say, you're only wielding me because I'm letting you.
Yeah.
At this point, there's a strange feeling. The feeling is that you must throw Shasul. You must throw Shasul at something.
Cool. I throw him at one of the... Not Cora. I throw him...
Now see, that's how you make a friend with Sashul.
Yeah.
Cora,
Right,
stay still.
Cora.
Why? If a knife could laugh. So, yeah.
Yeah, I throw him at a suitable, like, piece. Well, he attacked the weapons. He seemed to be interested in weapons, so I will throw him at one of the previous weapons that he was attacking.
What's the... so what I want to know is targets. Yeah? What kind of thing are you going to throw at? Any weapon that you can find is here. You can build the sandbox too. What is it that you throw Sashul at? You know the shield spells are up, but what are you going to throw Sashul at?
I'm going to throw him so I'm told him we're fighting demons. So I'm going to find him something more like well, not all demons are like small in life and dexterity based, but I will start by throwing him at some short sword, and then like if he comes back, I will throw him at like a bigger like great sword, and then I will essentially start small and then go big. So like knife, short sword, rapier,
Okay. So you're going to throw at the short sword first. You throw it. Give me a weapon attack.
Just straight or any.
Straight. You don't have any reason to. I mean, the thing is immobile, which I guess gives you advantage.
Oh, okay, cool. $17.
At a 17, he shoots back at you. You go to catch it. I would like you to make an insight check with disadvantage.
Because it's a knife. 11.
Yeah. When it comes back to your hand, it cuts up your palm before being wielded again. You take plus that.
I'm getting a feeling this is gonna be coming.
Take 9 points of slashing damage. Read into that what you will.
I will try again, but please, Gabe.
What are you going to attack?
Okay, I will throw him at the... Did I see what weapons he was specifically attacking before?
All of them.
All of them. Cool. I'll throw him at a greatsword this time.
When you throw him at the greatsword, he clatters to the floor before returning to your hand. And with a 26 to hit. This time you take, he's deliberately given you half damage because he's teaching you.
Ow.
Take 8 points of slashing damage as he cuts up your hand again.
Yeah, he's gonna keep doing that.
I pull.
Oh
I
God,
pull
how
my-
annoyed is Farewell at this?
my
You guys
bag,
are just
my
looking
rust
through the
bag,
window, see me do this.
my rust bag. I pull out my rust bag and I fling a something out.
Oh yay, something to attack.
Hold on.
Poor creature.
They're fake. They're not real. It ain't real.
It's a puppet.
It's a puppet. Right, hold on. Which one is it? It's the rust bag. So let's roll. I'll throw. Well, let's roll out one first. Boop. Oh, what is that? What is that? That is a rat. I'm gonna roll again.
A rat, yeah.
And another rat.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll all three of them because why not? That's a number 4. What do we get for number 4? That one is a goat. You have 2 rats and a goat.
2 rats and a goat, so that's that. And just
Fly,
checking.
my pretties.
Sure. Okay.
I
So
will throw it at go.
the bag of rust, the creatures that come from the bag of rust are able to get the sense of why they've been summoned by the person who summons them.
I give them a sort of like, give them a run for their money kind of thing.
They are. They are.
You get a sensation of what a dick, because you are connected to the Fae. It's like, you bastard. You summoned me to be a fucking moving target. So yes, the
It'll be
rats
fun. You'll love it.
the rats and the goats start to scarper using the various exhibits as cover. They are all doing the dodge action as they are running. So it is with disadvantage. So yes,
I will.
Eclipse.
I will.
What are you going to throw him at?
Well, I will first tell him. Let me show what I can do, and I'll first do a hide action, cunning hide action.
Okay. Yep. Cora, you see that the. First of all, give us your ridiculous hide score, because we know you want to tell us the numbers.
It's 25.
Yes. Needless to say, you hide from both the goats and the rats. So you hide. You haven't been hurt by Sashul, so you have a feeling he's okay with this. You do remember he was made originally by an assassin.
Yes.
Okay. So the rats and the goat are trying to keep as much cover as they can. So yes, you'll be cancelling the disadvantage as a regular roll.
Yeah.
What are you attacking? And roll to attack.
Well, I will. Now, will Sashul be more impressed I hit a smaller target like a rat, or does he want the bigger kill of the goat? That is the question. I will start with the rat.
Okay. There's 2 rats, so roll me an attack for one of the rats.
Rat A. There we go, 27.
27, yeah. You duck out, and just as one of the heads of the rats is poking out, you throw this. I'm going to ask you to do the damage, just for the fun of it. Sashul's base damage is 1d12 plus 1d6.
Yes. Plus
He
my,
is a buzzsaw.
Yeah, plus my
Sneak attack plus your
well,
dex.
no, not my sneak attack, because I do not have advantage at the moment, and
Yes, quite right. Yeah.
but plus my dex, so that's plus 5. So 8 plus 5 is 13.
13.
On a rat instead.
You lob the head off the rat.
Yeah.
And Sashul, coming back in a spray of blood, hits your hand. No cuts.
No cuts.
I mean,
Cool.
you check because, when he hits you really hard, you don't feel it until you see the blood welling up. You check, you're like, all my fingers. And just in your hand.
Yeah. Okay, another hide action. $33.
Yes. Nothing detects you with the 33.
The rats don't see me.
Okay. So what are you doing?
I will get rid of the other rats.
Okay, go for an attack.
Well, that is a terrible roll. Well, I'm pretty sure I will still hit a rat, but Sashul won't be impressed by 12.
You just about hit the rat. You can see that as you throw, Sashul has to correct the course. Not a huge amount. It still would have hit, but he corrects it from being a flank hit, like a flank hit to a pristine hit. Again, give me 1d12 plus 6 plus 5. 1d12 plus d6 plus 5.
13 again.
Okay. Once again, no more head on the rat. The rat just kind of disappears in some fey miasma. He comes back, and when you catch him, he twists slightly. Take 1 hit point of damage.
Okay. Yeah, I can take that, but that's fine. Okay, and then the last one on the goat. Oh, first I'll hide. Just to make sure. And the natural 20 with a 35. The goat is still dodging, I assume.
Yeah, so did you say the natural 20 on that one?
Yeah, natural 20 on the hide action.
On the hide action, okay. Yeah, you just disappear. Even Cora can't see where you are. Okay, 15. Yes, hits. Again, roll for damage.
That's better. That's a 19.
Okay. Yeah. You just completely eviscerate the goat. And you can see that prior to coming back, the knife kind of gets up in the air, does like a slow tumble in the air above the goat. The goat then falls over, and then Sashil comes back. It wasn't the best hit that you did, but the damage was good. And you can see that Sashil is kind of in your hand, but you can feel there's a little bit of a lean one way, another little bit lean of another way. It's applying lazy force to show that he's not 100% subservient in your hand at the moment. And then he shoots up into the ceiling. And he's just hanging from the ceiling above you. It's kind of menacing. It's just point down.
I climb up to him.
No, he's like 20 foot above you.
I mean, because we're in a small room, can't I just climb up?
You
the
could
wall?
climb up the wall.
Yeah, because
And then along the ceiling. Tabaxi said climb speeds. I would allow that if you want.
Yeah. Or does he want me to jump and get it?
That is the question. What would you do if you were a knife?
Something is what I've been doing. Now Sashil can talk. He just hasn't chosen to talk to us yet.
Yes, Sashil can talk.
So even sending him a message, be like, "Hello," he won't respond to that.
Yeah, at the moment he's
Maybe.
choosing not to.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
This is your interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farrell's gonna be so disappointed in the clips. Eclipse. I stare up at him, not taking my eyes off him. I move towards wall. I would like to prepare an action while I'm doing this as a holding an action, because I'm just using my movement at the moment, to get out of the way, dodging if he comes towards me. And I will climb the wall.
Okay. You get about a meter away from him and he shoots off into a different direction and sticks himself in another piece of wall. Cora, you're about the only person in Ilaria at the moment that I would allow this. Give me an insight check.
What the knife?
Okay. Let's see. Oh my god. Roll20 hates me. Not Roll20, D&D Beyond. I rolled a grand total of a 5, so grand total of 8. Woohoo!
Yeah,
I am totally unaware of what's going on. I'm like, knife.
You do have a
Knife.
feeling, Cora, that you're being watched.
Yeah,
and
I
not
have
by-
a feeling he wants
Not
to
by the knife either.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
Mm.
It's a familiar feeling. So, no, not in that way. Not capital F. Just it's
Yeah,
something
it's
that you felt before.
yeah. I get it.
So Eclipse, he's now stuck in a sideboard, about halfway down the gallery.
Okay. This time, sensing what he wants is probably for me to chase him, I will use my tabaxi ability to move at double speed and essentially try and get close as possible to him and catch him. I guess that's what.
The second you start running, he shoots himself up into another panel.
Yeah. Does he not want me to? So I can't course correct or anything. He.
You can, but every time you course correct, he shoots off in another direction.
Okay.
Apparently doesn't want to be held right now.
No.
But other than that, he's not attacking you.
Yeah. Take my lash knife out. And will he allow me to get in range to essentially spar with him?
You can walk up to 15-foot range.
Yeah.
As you're walking up with a lash knife, doesn't seem to be moving. He's not running away.
Yeah. Yes. And yeah, I will make an attack.
Sure. That's a decision. Go for it.
30.
Okay. As you throw the lash knife, or whip the lash knife towards him, he shoots out of the sideboard that he's currently stuck into. Both blades bang, almost tip to tip, hit each other. There's a huge spray of golden sparks. Glory, you're looking at this from the outside.
Yeah.
Arcana check with advantage.
Oh, hell yeah.
Background Enchantress.
Now that I can do. I'm gonna use D&D Beyond because I'm too lazy to bring out my dice. Arcana. See, first one's an 18, second one's a 23.
Okay. Magical items are, as nearest to it, indestructible.
Yep.
You can, using a forge, break one down eventually, but it takes a while. It takes a while to do any amount of damage to a weapon. To a magical weapon is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Magical weapons, depending on the tier, out of character, that's +1, +2, +3. Get harder as they go along. Yeah, so it's easier to destroy a +1 with a +3 sword. The fact that these two are sparked off against each other is what happens when you manage to scratch the surface properly of a magical item.
Right.
Magical items always stay sharp and are always pristine. No scratches, no nicks, no dents. It's the easiest way to identify a magical item if you don't have to take magic, is that, you know, it's quite clearly been used, but the edge is perfect, like freshly forged perfect. Yeah. The as you strike with this, as they strike with this, the sparks are two similarly powered magical items that have hit each other and may have scratched each other a bit.
Right.
I hope I didn't piss him off with that, or he might respect me for it.
And Sashul basically doesn't just hit the floor. Every time he's hit the floor so far, it's been very deliberate.
Yeah.
Dink, and not moved. He never goes ding, 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 ding. He goes shtunk, even if he's lying down.
Yeah.
Yeah, flat on the floor. He's still just straight. He ding, 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 slide.
I put my lash knife on it. Wait. I inspect my lash knife. I'm assuming it has some dent, like a little thing
You
in
can
it
see
now.
where the two blades have gone past each other like that and hit each other so hard. There's a scratch on the side of your blade. This is the first time that this lash knife has ever got any tarnish, any scratch, any dulling of the blade. This is the first damage this has ever taken.
Yeah.
Take it. I put it away and I walk up to Sashul.
It's twitching.
No. Do you agree?
Still twitching.
I pick him up.
As you pick it up, it kind of vibrates a little bit, but then calms. You're holding Sashul.
Cool. I
You-
turn to Cora and give her a thumbs up.
You don't feel like it's compelling you to do anything at the moment.
I turn to Cora and give her a thumbs up. My like arm bleeding, my hand bleeding.
Thumbs up. Checks. Blood on the top of it. Drip, 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 drip. How much damage did you take in that conversation?
A bit less than half.
Yeah, he deadly. Don't piss him off. I will not sugarcoat what Sashul will do. He has a reputation that I will happily kill a character over to maintain. By the way, in answer to the question that I'm sure will come up at some point, Corinne, yes. Strike, Skyfang, yes.
Yes.
Sashul is one of the named weapons.
Yes.
Dervish,
I knew that.
Isa, Sashul is one of the named.
Yep. I knew he was, well, because you told us about him before, and he's a very, he, as you said, he's a named weapon, and I'm sure you will give me, well, because you said he has similar powers, so he must at least be a +1. As my lash knife is.
That's probably a bit misleading.
Yeah.
Looking at what he can do, he looks a lot more strongly powered than your lash knife.
Okay.
A lot more. Forget I said that. In fact, that's probably too misleading. I don't want to get into the magical metaphysics of it.
Nitty-gritty of magical items.
But yeah, forget that, or at least don't forget it, but don't weigh too much on it.
Yeah.
So you're holding Sashul,
Yeah.
seemingly unresisting now.
Cool. Now, I know he doesn't like being restrained, but I don't think a little like knife belt holder that with like clips that would necessarily restrain him. But I do need somewhere to put him where I'm not holding him.
Is this what Eclipse is thinking?
She's thinking it. Yeah, she's not doing anything yet. She's thinking, what am I gonna do with this thing? Where I'm gonna put it.
Okay. As you do that, there's kind of an answer in your head.
If someone else can join the Zoom, because my phone seems to have disconnected, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cry. Those animals really help. Oh, we have double now.
Oh, right. Yours is back. Okay, I'll switch mine off.
Okay. Yep. Hopefully it'll
Right,
stay.
okay. If not, I'll just come back in. I've got the link right here now. So yeah, you get a feeling that he's listened and he's about to answer. He jerks himself out of his hand and attaches himself to your belt with telekinetic force.
Now,
I was trying to catch you out. If you tried to put him in a bag of holding, he would have twisted in your hand and attacked you.
Yeah, no, I knew I wasn't gonna put him in a fucking bag of holding, but it was decision ever. But
someone tricked him into going into a demiplane before. He is not going in again.
Yeah. So something that he somehow, well, now reading my thoughts or some of my intentions, I think to him, I need you to be in my hand for us to be able to leave.
There's a moment of what you can see is you feel a slightly childish kind of crossing of the arms, and then you're holding your hand out and suddenly just he's in your hand.
Yeah. Okay, Craig, can you tell him to open the door?
We're good to come out now. She's bleeding enough, but it's fine.
We've been watching. She just called it to her hand. Shields. And he opens the door, and you can see he's got a shield braced up against his face. He's looking over the top of the shield.
Oh, look how afraid they are of you.
And yes, Hissa, bag of holdings can hold living beings. They just don't stay living for very long because there's no air in there. It's vacuum.
Yeah, so the knife won't be to breathe, but,
Yeah.
you know.
So sentient objects can be put into bags of holding, demiplanes, things like that, and they will just sit there for millennia. They don't like it.
Yeah.
You have a feeling that at some point somebody managed to catch Sashul in a bag of holding, and he stayed there for too long and got incredibly bored. Whoever opened that bag of holding had better watch out.
Yep. I think to Sashul when they're holding their shields up, so, oh, look how afraid they are of you.
You get a feeling of mirth.
Yeah.
Once you're outside, in a very fast and jerked motion, Sashul rips himself out of your hand and attaches to your belt.
Yeah.
You do get a oh! kind of thing from the guards because they thought he was going to attack you. Once again, this huge burst of mirth in your mind.
Yes, I echo this mirth as well.
The guard goes, "It's not funny. He's put some of us in hospital."
I'm gonna need some medical attention, but yeah.
Oh, holy shit. You know what to do, Hermit.
Oh no. Oh no. 91.
91. And what's the D6?
3.
3. Ooh. Let's see.
It's like things weren't happening enough.
Ooh, okay. This one's an interesting one. Hermit, I am actually going to talk to you about this one because I don't feel it's going to happen this session, but I want to make something up based on this. So I'm going to copy to you what 91 was in the thing that I did. Here we go. So this is in the Discord, my friend. Okay. I think that we should play with some of the keywords with that, particularly the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th.
I'm scared.
The 7th word. I think that should be maybe that word should be encounter. What do you think?
I'm scared. You need to make those wild magic bursts more expensive, Simon.
Oh. Then it wouldn't be a tradition. Yeah, I think I think that 7th word should be encounter.
Very scared.
Anyway,
very
yes.
scared.
There we go. Anyway, so yeah, you do feel oddly empowered, Eclipse. It's maybe just the excitement of dealing with this powerful creature. Maybe it's the loss of blood. You're not entirely sure, but you feel a little high right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So Farewell goes, is he going to attack me if I heal you?
I think that. Are you going to attack him if he heals me? Is
No answer.
that a yes?
No answer.
Just do it and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
She's
is
no
my-
good to him injured, is she?
Yes.
I think
If
he
I'm
will
injured.
understand.
He goes up, puts his hand on your shoulder, and says, "Suppose I should say, well done." And as he does so, this energy pours into your body. You can feel a crackling as the skin on your fingertips grows back.
Okay.
The slashes in your hand close up, and you start feeling like you've just had a blood transfusion.
Okay, so how about the hit points? I just heal up to full. Do we
You
just
heal
say
up
that?
to full, yeah. If we had to do it by blow, I would have done it differently. But yeah, I think that's correct. Let's see that and that. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Sashul's at your belt.
This is
And
not
it only
gonna
took
come-
half your hit points. Well done.
It could have got a lot worse.
It
It
could.
nearly did. When you fluffed a few of those rolls and didn't quite get what he was trying to say. Yeah. And yes, he could have spoken to you in common. Sashul can speak any language.
Yeah. I could have used detect thoughts, but I felt that would. I don't know if he would be able to detect that or not.
Let's just say it's
He was
probably a
not
good thing you
talking to
did.
you for a reason. Probably
Yeah.
best that you didn't try and pry.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, the dice didn't quite like me. So you were not.
You have a knife.
Yeah, I have a knife. Yay!
Sun walks up and says, an impressive blade. Certainly a blade that would be worthy of Jordan's time. You get a slight elation from the blade.
Were you around for Jordan? I asked the
In your mind, a feeling of no,
No.
but not the actual word.
Mhm.
Some regret with the word, though.
Oh. Mhm.
You can interpret that as regretfully no.
Mm. Just so I know, are you okay with me? I'm doing my I'm just looking at it thinking instead of vocalizing at this point. Are you okay with me asking questions about your past, or would you like me not to pry?
The feeling is mind your own fucking business.
Cool.
Take that as a no.
Yeah. Hey, I asked.
You pitched to Sashul that you were going to go out for a slaughtering good time.
Yep, we
Yep.
are. We are.
Yep.
Cool.
Hey, it must beat staying in this dusty place. You know, he's a blade. He doesn't want to be coped up in a museum.
No.
Does Glory say that?
Yeah, I assume so.
Why not?
Yeah.
Sure. Sashul. It's not that much that that Sashul likes Glory, but it resonated.
Yeah.
What she said, it agreed with.
Yeah. Well, we need to prepare for the coming battle and essentially try and. We need to move out as soon as possible, really, because the sooner we get to the Golden City and the Devil's Stair and then Jordan, the quicker we can find out more information and prepare for the architect, which is due any day now.
It's like 9 a.m. You have the whole day ahead of you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sun says, "If you want, I can get the forces ready here, and we can be ready." Lilith.
Well, we could open it anywhere, so that's a good plan.
Lilith, you said you could. We can get to the Golden City from any point. She said yes. I simply just have to open the portals at an agreed place. It can be a couple of portals if you wish. He goes, "Could you do one here?" Goes, "Sure, just pick the location." And he, because you're kind of walking up to the spire, to the surface now, and he goes, "Why not here? The Grand Temple of Naruka. Here in the open arms, which is the large kind of curved thing. As I've mentioned before, it's a spire with two curved walls with very wide opening. There's no kind of gates or anything. It's not a protective thing. It's more a landscaping thing."
Oh. Yes. Probably not right at this second, though, because we still need to prepare properly, and we also need to give time for the army to mobilize.
You can see that there's a certain amount of, as you're walking through the city, there's a certain amount of excited industriousness about the city. And as you walk past the children are playing of "Take that, you demon! Take that! I shall be. I am Jordan the Great." And you can see they've got this, silver, this sword that they painted yellow, it has, "I bear Dawnbreaker," and slashes this thing down. And the other tabaxi goes, "You killed me! You killed me!" And as you leave, it's like, "Right, now it's my turn to be Jordan." But you can see there are some tabaxi that you pass in the street who either salute Sun or, as you're walking up, normally what would be an aggressive gesture in Ostergold is not one here, as a couple of tabaxi suddenly just pull out a pair of what seem to be elven short swords, flip it around in their hands, cross them, and kind of present their arms for inspection. They're not expecting you to come up and look at them, but just kind of shows you the arms and then very quickly flicks it round and shoves them back into the holsters again, almost like a gunslinger style. And they give you like a hey kind of thing as you're walking past. Not particularly flirtatious, but it's coming from a tabaxi, so it comes across as flirtatious. They kind of give you a "we're ready" kind of thing, show us the way. And as they do that, the sun goes into the market and says, "There's a spell that makes your voice louder." And Farewell goes, "Yeah, sure." Flicks his fingers at the guy, and he goes, "I am Stairs of the Sun, General to Jordan the Great, traveled through time to be with you here today. I shall be leading you through the portals. You can consider me your general for this task. Come to me, you leaders of various bands and units and rabbles. Let me know your faces. We shall be mustering at the Grand Temple. There, we shall start our adventure." There's a lot of people, again, Tabaxi don't applaud. There's a lot of people who just kind of jump off wherever they are, because some of Tabaxi, you notice, do like to be at height. They jump down from whatever they're sitting on and all the rest of it and just start walking in his direction. He looks back at you, Eclipse, and goes, "Don't worry, I got this. You get the rest of your forces."
Okay,
and starts
we
making
are
his way
counting on
back.
you later, though, to be the ones leading us through the city.
Absolutely. Don't worry. As far as I'm concerned, Lilith, you said many portals go to one portal, and Lilith goes, "Yes, that's how it'll be. Basically, many portals, but we'll be coming through what is the edge of the demi-plane, the walls, if you will, and we'll all be coming out at one location. It's the only place that I'll be able to come through. It's where all of the 7 left. But we'll be there." He goes, "See you in the Golden City." And patting his void armor and giving Glory a little bit of a wink, as if to say, thanks for the armor. He starts marching up to the temple with a giant rabble in tow. And this isn't the full army yet. He seems to have remembered that in Naruka, if you shout something loud enough, it'll get to everybody eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
We'll look at the others, because I have something I would like to do, but that kind of requires Farewell. So.
Okay. I know what you're on about. And I want to keep that for when Nick returns.
Yeah.
So if you want, I'm gonna steer you a bit for the stuff I prepared because Nick's not here.
Yeah.
Okay. You go back and teleport to Ostergold. Is there anything that you would like to do in Naruka first or Ostergold when you arrive? Any of you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Does Kate and Felicia have? Kate and Felicia, do you have anything?
Nothing that I can
Not
think of. No.
really. I thought we were gonna do our last little bit in Naruka and then get storming a citadel.
Mm-hmm. There was a couple of little preparations just before that, but basically I was going to put you right up to the edge at the end of this encounter. What I'm going to do at the end of the session, what I'm going to do is do anything you want to do left to prepare, and then I'm going to give Nick some time to prepare at the beginning of the next session, and then you'll go into the city. Okay?
Mm.
So when we get back to the city, you check in. Renata informs you that she got attacked again. This time she was more prepared for it. They didn't get past her wards or anything like that, but she has actually extended her scrying to most of the sector that she's in of the city. which does mean that she is invading the privacy of many, many citizens at this point, but no one's going to mention that to her. And she has had to counter-assassin lots of people. And she does inform you that she's interrogating one of the ones who are alive now. They seem to be high-class mercenary assassins who fall on the dark dribbly candle cult side of society, as opposed to the nicer high-class assassins that just assassinate for nobles and things, you know, societally sanctioned murderers instead. And she says when she gets some answers that she actually believes, she will tell you. When you go to the Hawk and Harness, Hoster actually tells you that that the detachment from Ostergold, which are Green Organization and Friends, also one of the Duke's own detachments will be coming with you. So he's given you a legion.
Okay.
Yeah. And they say, you know, if you want to, they are mustered just outside of Ostergold because they're a fucking legion. Yeah. That's, 100 people. Yeah. Sorry, legion, 50 people. And Hoster says she has gone out there and met them and says they are all grizzled war veterans, all in their 30s to 40s, seen about 2 decades of fighting, but still physically very, very fit. There doesn't seem to be any young soldiers there. They all scarred up, nasty looking bastards, her words. And she goes, I'm impressed with the hand-picked selection he's given you. Each of them seems to have a particular chevron they've been given to their armor, which is a kind of like a city skyline with a burning sun above it. And they are the Golden City Detachment that will be going on behalf of Duke Edmund Ostermark. And she pulls out a letter, gives it to you, and it is Duke Edmund saying, I hereby proclaim that Corios Null, Eclipse of the Moon, Glory Tezcatlipoca, Aiden, because he still thinks Aiden's with you, he hasn't been told otherwise, and Farewell, are all considered to be of commander rank for this one detachment. They will and have been told to obey you. Right? So don't give conflicting orders, please, because soldiers like nothing more than a fuzzy chain of command. And the letter is very eloquent, very grateful, very friendly. And she says, our detachment is basically all of our strongest enforcers who want to get some action time in before the big battle. They consider this to be the warm-up, yeah? I'm trying not to go Narukan again. But she's like, yeah, they're trying to get some action in, try to, blow out the cobwebs before they defend the city. In a way, I think they kind of want to get this. Well, you said there was going to be devils, yeah?
Yep.
They kind of want to get used to that, yeah? Some of them were here during the last siege, but they were just reacting. They didn't give it a chance to actually let it soak in. I think that's what they want. So they're eager in a professional sense. And I did notice, Felicia, we're over the time for break, so we will go in a second. But we'll go on a break on a little cliffhanger. You sit down and get some drinks and things like that, and just kind of, take a moment to sit down in, your home sofas, even though they're downstairs. It's your booth, and you've got some drinks, some nibbles, and Cora, you start feeling a little lightheaded. A little bit, a little high, a little woozy. Hey, woo! What's in these drinks? You look, no, regular drinks. Noki's usual thing, but why are you so? Wow! Oh shit! Man, what's going on? And suddenly you hear a voice in your head. Yes, it's worked. Thank God it's worked. Cora, please don't resist this communication. It's excellent. And I don't think I've got much time. And that's where we're going to take a break.
What? Oh, I'm not even ready for the break.
What's my bastard up to now?
Also, why is Scott picking Cora out of all places?
Because she's the least likely to hang up.
True. Right, we're going to break. We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Bye.
See you in a bit.
Hi.
Welcome back, and welcome back to our players. I just realised I don't have chatter. Right. The tip of the blade was poisoned with catnip. I got to remember that one. Get Tabaxis to roll on the insanity table, which I haven't used in a very long time. Right.
I'm happy about that.
So you are in the tavern, Kate, and
Right, yeah.
you came over all funny,
He made me drunk.
and
He loosened me up.
now you can hear his voice in your head. I don't have much time. Can you trust me enough to at least allow me to project an illusion into your head?
Show me.
I will say at this point you cannot communicate with Glory or Eclipse. This is happening in a few seconds in your head, during which time all they see is you go, ah, ah.
Okay.
That's it. So you said, show me.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly the room melts away in a very trippy psychedelic moment. And you can see that Excellence is in what is loosely referred to as a prison cell. It's hell. So it is where people are tortured. You can hear screaming all around you, just like maddened, cathartic screaming from pain. You can see that on the walls as decoration, or they just haven't taken them away, are rotting bodies on kind of like big fishhook type spikes, just hanging off the wall.
Yay.
You can see that there is a kind of person chained down to the floor. They're chained by ankle and by hand, by wrist. Again, they're not animated at the moment. You're hoping it doesn't get animated because this person seems to be dehydrated. The skin is black. The skin is pulled back from the eyes. The eyes themselves are shrunken down to like, kind of dehydrated olives type of look. The head is back in a timeless scream. And sat up against the wall in his finery, looking a bit sorry for himself, is Excellent. I'm feeling that you can perceive my surroundings. I'm afraid I only have... You can see the roomy look on his eyes, his swaying. He's the one who's stoned. I had some recreational drugs. I postulated that
in hell.
Your connection to the dreaming is connected in some way to delirium. I had already mapped your resonance after meeting you a few times, and so I started tripping balls and hoped that was a way of attuning to you. I appear to be, as always, correct. So it's too dangerous to contact Chloe. Too dangerous. I don't think that they understand what I'm doing right now. In fact, I could be imagining all of this and just talking to myself. Yeah. But I think I'm right. I think you're really here. What was it again? Yes. There is a faction, powerful, chaotic, malevolent. One might even say evil. No. Not my place, really. Yes. They have been obscured and grown whilst you've been making your preparations. They're being hunted now, reduced in number, but their goal was never to grow. And their goal is to achieve some ends, and one of them is to kill your patron, Renata. They're going to do it. I've seen what they're sending. I tried to warn her, Renata. I figured that it was worth the trouble. Mother's going to be very displeased with me. And Auntie, oh, I'm going to need Glory's help with that one. But it was worth it. You see, it's tipping point in fate. You see, Renata, I figured out, is manipulating destiny. You're like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Not sure how. Chronomancy is lost, I thought, until my last encounter with you. And Mr. Barebones did a very interesting thing. I presume that I lost some memory of what he got rid of. I definitely felt a discontinuity. I suspect that she knows a little chronomancy. How she's getting past the gods, I don't know. But I think what she's mostly doing is using divination. Just looking ahead, doing what's necessary to go towards some outcomes. Very clever. Very clever of her. I believe that she's been tweaking things for your team. And this cult, I believe, has one of the architect's demons at its head, one that got away. I think that it has the goal of tipping the scales as much as it can to their future. That's it. And it has stopped at nothing. It's even canvassing for supporters here in the pit, which is why I'm in my current predicament. I'm rather scared. My supporters, allies, I suppose. They're doing their best, I hope. I asked enough of them to give a message to Grandfather that I suppose one of them will. But yes, I should be able to sort this out. But if not, I want you to give my dear cousin a message. Good game. But only give it to her if I die. She'll know. It's part of the game. We always know. If she tells you that I died, tell her you have a message. And the message is, good game. Look after her. We all try to make our mark on this world, these planes, in different ways. It was my lot to be thrown down here, that I am not the royalty that Glory is. So I got a slightly shittier detail. I had more to prove because I was lower in stature. Although I'd like to think not lower in ability or mind. I would like at the very least to be remembered as her equal. Just with a slightly less glamorous job. There's some things I've left with my family. But if I don't make it, we'll go to her. I hope I get to dance with her again. You can tell her of this experience. Just leave out the bit about me being afraid to die. As a favor. Look after her. Promise me.
I'll do my best.
Oh.
Sorry.
She's
Suddenly a little bit CJ there. I'll do my best. Yes. Yeah. Am I seeing him at this point? Is he seeing me and I'm seeing him?
He's staring off into the distance.
Yeah.
He's tripping balls.
Yeah.
He can hear you though.
Yeah.
Well, either that or he's hallucinating you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's with the Fae, the two kind of blur. Thank you. She's not as bad as she comes across, you know.
I don't think either of you are.
It's the game, you see. Kind of stuck. Dragon's to the left of us. Tiamat's to the right. And the second we show weakness, our friends become our enemies and crush us. Bit of a damnable state, really.
Yeah, seems that way.
I'm going to do my best to get out of this. It may be that I end up having to leave the pit. What a punishment to leave hell. It will be considered failure. But I believe that coming events are going to I think that coming events are going to exonerate me. Anyway, I don't have much time, as I say. The thing that Renata really needs to look out for is
Shit.
Amazing.
and you snap back into the room.
Do I feel drunk anymore?
Nope. Sober as a judge.
Yeah, very sober, like just staring at them both. I'm staring. Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm staring at Glory because I don't know if I just saw him die, so I'm waiting for her to go. He's dead.
No. Both Glory and Cora looking at Glory. Glory has no reaction.
Do you need another drink, Cora?
Yeah, because from what you guys saw, Cora just went.
Yeah. You're right, Cora.
I have a feeling you two won't care so much about this, but your cousin's in the shit.
Oh.
And I say that to straight at Glory.
Oh. That's no good.
Yeah.
Do we need to save him?
I don't know if we can. He's in hell.
We got
Yeah.
like an arch succubus on. Well, no, actually, no, she won't help.
I don't think she wants to go back there.
No.
Unfortunately, we have prior
Earth don't want to go
commitments.
anywhere near there. Lilith's around though.
He's trying to get word to your grandfather and to help him. And I relay as much as everything that I can remember because Kate is really bad at this shit, but like hopefully Cora is better.
You were pretty out of it, so
Yeah, well, I mean, like I wasn't, but like, yeah. So, obviously, except the whole, he thinks he's gonna die thing, but like, where I sort of saw him, where he said he was, all the stuff that I can relay, I'll do so. And that he was trying to get word.
out of trouble. He should.
I mean,
He should be fine.
I would
I'll
hope so.
know otherwise. But
I mean,
yeah,
better to have him as an ally than to have him lost, in my opinion.
Well, there's a reason why he's down there.
I
And
know.
not someone else. He's probably the only one who could survive it.
Let's hope he does.
As you're saying this, an elven woman walks in, priestly garb. You can see that she's got the kind of robe and armor ensemble, which is standard D&D cleric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the son of Pelor on both shoulders and on her breastplate. She seems to have what seems to be like a golden mace and a kind of a shield, like a kite shield on her back. And she walks in and says, I believe you know that Farewell is currently upstairs having a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, I've been called here because apparently you as a group want the ministrations of Pelor.
Oh, yeah.
In my notes, it says that you revealed to Renata that that you wanted to speak to Pelor.
Yes.
Glory will just push Eclipse forward like this one.
Okay.
Yes. I had thought about this, which I was going to ask Clara, but I can ask you. Because I did some reading and was like, I realized how big of a deal is actually speaking to a god and like how much favor that specific god gives you if you actually speak to that god. So singularly, mostly important.
Yeah.
So
Corinne did ask me outside of this, and I'm happy to, as you could probably guess, speak to the characters and give them, speak to the players and give them guidance outside of the game. I was going to give some of this to Farewell, and there's still stuff that Farewell could very much bring to the table next session. But I gave a little bit of what do certain people know about the favors of gods. And when the Raven Queen spoke to Farewell directly, it was a big deal. Huge deal. Most people, even archpriests, may speak to, I think I've said this in a previous episode, may speak to an archpriest once or twice in their lifetime. For them to come to a on-the-road cleric like Farewell, almost unheard of. But because of you are part of something, realm-changing, the gods are obviously looking at you a little closer. However, if you are not an absolute devout follower of that god, you still probably won't be able to speak to that god directly. It was something that I didn't want to have to mess about with in game too much. So I did point out, just speak to an angel connected to that god. They'll still have all the same answers. Okay.
So I do.
So go ahead.
Yes. Though you could probably help me with this, because I had another thought that would. Initially, I thought that just speaking to Pelor would be a good idea, but then I
We
have
should
another
all speak
thought.
to Pelor.
Oh. But then I had another idea, and to be honest, we need to speak to the entire pantheon.
Well, the others are important too. She says with all the conviction of someone who absolutely does not believe in what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she says, oh, the others are important too.
Yes, they're all involved.
Mine's the
in this.
bestest god. She doesn't say that part.
Yeah.
That's in her head.
Yeah.
They're all involved in this, because I'm sure you're aware of the architect thing.
she kind of gives a little, yes, we are aware of what is to happen to our city. We've all been mobilized.
Yes.
We have our paladins ready.
The gods were the ones who created the architect.
She looks around at everybody and says, an interesting theory. And may we go upstairs, please?
This way, my
if you want, I
lady.
can give you the real answers according to canon. Please, come this way. Come this way. And she takes you upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there's rooms that you can just go into. You take her and she goes, please, not in front of the flock. That takes a lot of explaining.
Eclipse rolls her eyes. It's like, I do not have patience for fluffing around this issue. This is something that is important.
The average person in the street only needs to know that he's a demon, which he technically is. That makes things easier.
Well, no,
he's
he
not a demon.
isn't a demon at all. He's a celestial.
Yes, I know he's not a demon. I've been speaking to angels too. He's...
We didn't really need to speak to
He's
angels
a
to find
creation
that
gone
out.
wrong.
Yes, that sounds closer to correct.
Yes. There were some creations that ended up turning on the gods, the Titans, for example.
Yeah. My point is, we need to have a proper audience with their gods or their proxies. Preferably the gods, probably their proxies. Well, because I believe I'm right in saying, like, it's less of a big deal of speaking to the entire pantheon as a group than it is being picked out as an individual by one god.
There are ways, and you hear from the doorway as Farewell leans against it, just kind of with his drink in his hand, he goes, it's called a convocation, Eclipse. Takes a drink of his drink. If the priests together of the Dawn Gods decide that they need to speak to all the gods simultaneously, that can't happen for reasons. I'm told very good reasons. But we can get a representative of each of the gods, an angel. Those angels are connected to the gods. They can answer all the questions just by listening to their particular god's brain frequencies. I don't know. But yes, you can get a convocation of the gods, a council, if you will. And you can ask whatever questions you want and ask whatever favor you want as well, or at least coordinate efforts. I have been thinking about it, but well, we were just so busy. Did I mention the dying?
10 months ago.
I mean, sure, but it's a traumatic event. Most therapy takes, a long time. But anyway.
Fine. So, yes, some sort of convocation, if we could speak to the actual Pantheon, that would be amazing, because then we could get the answers straight from the source. Because
the cleric who still hasn't introduced herself because you just launched straight in with the architect is this and she tells her, she goes, yes, that would be amazing is the word. Unprecedented would be another accurate word.
Spoken to groups of heroes before. That's not unprecedented.
The Pantheon as a whole, the last time they came to a mortal was the Raven Queen.
We shouldn't be too far off then with how the talks she's had with Farewell.
Yeah.
She kind of looks at you, looks at Farewell, and Farewell goes, yes, my mistress has visited me on occasion. And, he's looking kind of bashful about it because, cleric to cleric, it's not really, it's not something that you want to boast about. And she goes, she's kind of taken aback. No cleric would claim this lightly. And she takes it back and goes, well,
on occasion, she's agreed to go to a cafe with you at some point.
Got a date with the Raven Queen.
The elf looks as if to say, no, you're fucking with me. She doesn't say it, but she looks at the others and kind of, it's kind of like a kindly grandmother showing mild disappointment as she kind of looks at you and goes, kind of thing. She purses her lips and brings her eyebrows down. Just a kind of thing, please, none of those lies kind of thing. But she doesn't say it. And she says, well, it's clear that you're accustomed to having a stronger connection and with the world events that you're involved with, I suppose, yes, the faithful of the Raven Queen would probably need to answer direct questions, I suppose, of her. None of us have had any direct contact with the divine. We've had visions, various prayers answered when we've asked for information. Visitations from celestial beings, but not the actual God itself, from the last time we spoke, which was a few days ago. So yes, I suppose.
That seems a bit unfortunate. I mean...
Unfortunate?
Yeah, I mean, even my own, at least the higher up priests, is it really that uncommon over here? I mean, my aunt talks directly to her goddess.
And yeah, this elf is a very worldly elf.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you currently wearing this badge?
Mm-hmm. Glory's always wearing it.
Yeah, where is she wearing it?
Usually on the hip, especially after... because it used to be her magical focus, but it's not anymore, so she just has a simpler charm of it.
Okay. Her eyes go to your hip, and not the reason why normally women look at your hips.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at the symbol at your belt, looks back up, and decides not to press your comment any further, and says, "It's standard for our gods to have visitation by angel."
I suppose.
Typically, by the way, when somebody gets visited by Tiamat, Tiamat cannot leave her plane.
No.
She is symbolically chained to a large Titan steel spike.
She's chained to the second layer of hell.
Yep. literally chained.
Yeah.
So when she visits, basically they have a nightmare about being in the second layer of hell near Tiamat, hearing Tiamat screeching. Tiamat only speaks to those who are truly worthy. Normally, she will roar and screech into the skies of hell, and any inspiration or message gets immediately downloaded into the priest's head, and then they wake up, basically soaked in their own sweat, having soiled themselves in the night.
Yeah. Hence why Glory is a bit on the odd side with it, because her experience is not the usual.
Oh, they're not universal.
Yep.
Also, the priests don't normally soil themselves when they talk to their god. I mean, some may, but not the in their bed dreams.
So she says, yes, of course. A convocation, I suppose, was always going to be inevitable, but at some point, Brother Farewell. On behalf of the Cathedral of Pelor, notice everybody else has temples, they have a cathedral.
We are
on behalf of the Cathedral of the better religion, yes, we can guarantee our cooperation with this. We do have a regular celestial visitor at the cathedral in times of need, effectively our patron angel, and yes, I shall arrange so that they attend the convocation. If you wish, I can speak to the other priests. Get this sorted.
That would be beneficial, as we will be out of the city momentarily.
Well, we'll probably do this before we go, because this is the information we technically need before we go.
Do we though?
It doesn't take a huge amount of time for us. Summon planar ally is basically it's just per god summon planar ally. It will take a few of us.
If you can do your best, and I will ask Nick this later, if you can do your best and contact the Raven Queen and see if she can convince the other gods to come down as not them like in corporeal form, but like it maybe like some sort of like projected image, just so we're speaking to them directly, because I really think this is such an important issue that we do need them to be speaking and not proxy, because
so Farewell will say Eclipse speaking to some of these angels is speaking to the god. They're literally the mouthpiece of God. Yes, it would be nice for them to be there, but you get the right people, but the right angels, they are literally the voice of that god. So yeah, really the only thing that it would be beyond that is flexing to say that you actually had all the gods in the room. Sorry, what is your name? At which point, Keala. My name is Keala. As Sister Keala has pointed out, the gods, even in image or avatar form, wouldn't turn up typically unless it was something so profound.
I'd like to think this is pretty profound, considering it's the fate of the entire world.
Well, that's the problem with apocalypses, that after a while, you just get bored of them if you're a god. Really, that technically speaking, aren't we always, in danger of destroying ourselves?
Well, this is not us destroying ourselves. This is a creation of theirs threatening to destroy us.
I think they're aware of that.
So that's why I think they should come down personally, because this is something they're responsible for.
Oh, please, as if the gods ever do anything directly. They always use middlemen.
They also created this a while back, and they haven't done much about it, so I don't think they're probably that bothered.
It hasn't been a threat until now.
And Keala turns around and says, if you wish, farewell. If you wish, Eclipse, I shall communicate your request. I will promise to do that.
Yes, just a request. That's all I ask.
Very well. I don't see. I see no hubris in you. I see no that you're not doing it for any personal gain or any egotistical reasons. I see that you're very genuine in believing that talking directly to them face to face is the best way to address this. I will take your request seriously. You have a reputation, Eclipse. So when she says, I'll take this seriously, she's kind of giving an unspoken, even with your reputation, I'll take this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
One question I do have. Is it only the Dawn Pantheon that you'll be asking to come?
Yes.
And she looks pointedly at Glory.
Yes.
I am perfectly aware that my family's allegiance is not allowed over here. Don't think I take it badly.
Yes, only looking for the
I
Pantheon.
spoke to our agent, and Heliaphon said that last time that the architect was on this plane and got dismissed, it was all the gods who did it.
Do you think we even have a chance of getting the other ones to cooperate?
No, this is not. No, this is not a recommendation. But I mean, we gained the Raven Queen, and kind of tips her head to farewell. We gained the Raven Queen. They gained Vecna. I guess it's kind of abstract.
Well,
we gained Vecna as an enemy, but I don't know if they gained Vecna as an ally. But my point is,
they tend not to be allies. They tend to fight against each other.
Not always. There are some that don't like each other, but Bane.
It's more complex than you think, Eclipse.
Exactly. Celestial politics always has been. But I should imagine some of the, and she's trying to not say evil gods. Some of the.
It is very amusing to Glory to see a archpriest this flustered over it.
You're allowed to say evil. It's fine. We do it all the time.
Yes.
She does.
Some of the evil gods, let's use that term, would cooperate. Because not all of them are as insane as Tharazun.
Yes.
And
They
most
will
of them
understand that
do
if
want
this-
the material plane to stay intact.
Yes.
As much as I shudder, the one who's very likely to cooperate would be the devil man himself.
Lilith, who has been here the whole time, goes,
Uh-huh.
Asmodeus won't want this. He'll cooperate.
Yeah.
And when she says he'll cooperate, she's not talking. She's not talking as if she's talking about a god. She's talking as Ralph. You know Ralph.
Yeah.
I used to share a flat with Ralph. He'll be down for this.
Yeah.
There's just a casualness where she goes, no, he wouldn't want this to happen too. He'd lend support.
Yeah.
It's not lost on Kiala. Kiala's there like, who the fuck is this woman? Just kind of looking at her.
Don't question it.
Who the hell is this half elf? Just going, oh yes, I know everything about Asmodeus. She's like, potential heretic in my city. Oh. At least you're a known quantity, Glory.
Yeah.
So she's there kind of like, okay, noted. Says, well,
Keeping
yes.
an eye on that one.
I suppose we could ask the angels, or if you're successful, the gods. You can tell she's like, you're not going to be successful. I'll pass on your message, but you're not going to be successful. She's like, we could ask the angels, or indeed the gods, to approach Asmodeus.
Yes,
But that's not for us.
no.
And she looks deliberately at Glory and Eclipse.
Well,
He
I'm
says,
not gonna
it is
say
not
anything to the.
for us to contact them.
No, I wasn't gonna. I was not gonna.
Okay.
Way too much hassle to get getting it planned out. Better to let them do it.
I'll accept. Very well. I must admit, I had hoped that you had, after seeing all this terrible, terrible things, was ready to be bathed in light of Pelor. To be part of the
I
flock.
mean, Eclipse might, considering her current mission.
I mean, I'm going to go and try and get like an exemplar of Pelor back, but yeah.
You believe that Jordan can return? And Lilith pipes up and goes, he can. Kiala's had enough. She turns and goes, I'm sorry, who are you?
Lover of Jordan.
And Kiala goes, well, there are lots of people who love Jordan.
No, the actual lover of Jordan from 1,000 years ago.
The tales say that the lover of Jordan was some foul and corrupt temptress that saw the end to your people.
That got muddled.
Oh, please.
It's more complicated than that. She was, and then she wasn't.
Oh, fuck, there's a giant spider on my wall. Excuse me for a moment, I'm freaking out.
Kiala,
It's a friend.
Kiala starts to play with her holy symbol and says, oh, really? And
Yeah, that's all. You can check.
I'm going to get, someone roll me a d20.
Do I have any? I have a. Will this work? 17.
Oh, okay.
17. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay. You can see Fair will react as, Kiala's just there, just thumbing her holy symbol, kind of nervously. And he goes, I did it too. What do you see? Kiala looks at him as if to say, grass. And she goes, there's more fiending glory than her. And Lilith says,
I would say there's not much left at this point, so yes.
Lilith says, I can access the powers if you want me to. But that's not who I am anymore. And Kiala goes, no, I don't want a demonstration. I heard theories. But whilst you were successful with Jordan and Pelor were successful with you. Lilith says, yes.
And now she gets it.
I'm somewhat new. I'm unique. And she says it as a real kind of lashback. I'm
Yes,
still capable of accessing powers from the pit. But every time I do, they know. Every time I use my powers, they know where I am, what I look like, and have the potential to curse me. So you can imagine how often I've done that. having to use mortal magics for the most part. Unfortunately, I've never really needed to concentrate on them, so I'm not exactly a very powerful wizard.
Well, you might even find, because Pelor was the one who gave you your soul with Jordan's help. You might
Lilith
find
turns
some.
to you
I
and
would
says,
say it was more Jordan with Pelor's help than the other way around.
Yeah, well, yes. Whichever way around it is, you might find some solace and power with Pelor.
Lilith turns to you and says, the reason why I like this idea is that, yes, when Heliophon, was it, comes down, I wouldn't mind a private chat with him. And Kiala says, well, I'm sure that could be arranged. I suppose this is out of my remit. It's above and beyond. I will facilitate the conversation. Lilith says, thank you. That's all I want. I never thought that this was an attack. Just something that happened. Farewell. I'll ask you to be my diplomat, if that's okay. I will need some backup if I'm going toe-to-toe with an angel. Farewell kind of just puts his hand over his face and starts to massage his brow and goes, I knew it. I knew she was going to contact me. I knew she was going to point at me. I could have just not opened the door. But no, I had to go in and I had to finish somebody's sentence because I thought it made me look intelligent and cool. And now, sure. Kiala says, okay, well, there we go. As soon as you're their contact, Brother Farewell, I will make you the host of the convocation. It will be held in the Temple of Pelor, in the Cathedral of Pelor. I shall arrange for all of the priests to be present. We shall call the representatives. It could be, as you say, Eclipse, that if they agree, that the gods themselves may turn up. What an event that will be. Again, she says it with absolute no conviction that any of that's going to happen. Well, tomorrow. Hang on, no, it's about 11 in the morning. Today is going to be an interesting day. And with that, I'm going to finish up the session.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Couple of things. Cora.
Mm-hmm.
You, after meditating on it for a while, will realize that if you're accessible like this, you are now a canonical fae. You are now a story.
Yep.
In the same way that if somebody was able to dream about the Summer King and visit the Summer Court as a dreamer, they can technically dream of Cora and meet you.
Okay. Ooh.
It's a tentative link, but you're starting to become full-born dream folk.
Ooh.
At this point.
Cool.
If you do have any questions for me later on, not later on today, but later on, give me a shout, and I'll tell you a few things about how you are innately feeling about this.
Yeah, that
might.
Yeah, we maybe should.
Well, we can discuss where this could potentially go, but mostly I've just been reacting to things that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if you don't want it going in this direction, what kind of things you can do to put the brakes on. Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming today. I did have to bend a few things because I only found out today that Nick wasn't coming. We are going to raid.
Well,
You
friend.
did a great
Effort
job.
this.
Yeah. You were just making, yeah.
We are going to raid. And let's see who is on. We've got... we raided Madbird streams yesterday, and they were doing some really good stuff. And actually, out of all the ones that are there, I think that's the one that I would want to raid the most. So we're going to go raid Madbird. I don't know if we're going to have... I have a complete brain fart.
I don't know where you... What?
I'm having I'm close to bedtime.
Yes.
But yes, we don't know who's going to be on Madbird streams, but we will say hi anyway.
Yes.
And we will say hi, and then I will probably reset my brain because I've been up until 7:30. But until then, don't be a stranger on the remainder of this long weekend. Come play games with us. Come play computer games with us. If you're addicted to Final Fantasy, we've got people on there. We've got people on 7 Days to Die. We've not got anybody on Ark at the moment.
Anka and Spider are still playing, according to last I heard.
Oh yeah, they're still playing. They survived night 7, which, considering they had, I think, 1 shotgun, 1 rifle, bunch of baseball bats, that's quite impressive.
I meant on Ark.
Oh, they're still on Ark. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, nice. In that case, yes, we have people on Ark as well. So please join us and let chaos ensue. But until then, we're going to raid Madbird streams, and we'll leave you with those lovely people there. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.